Hello, freedom lovers and good people of Middle Earth. How are you? Welcome to Anarchapulco TV, your home for the world's premier Liberty Conference. I'm David Rodriguez, your host, and I'm so happy that you're here because we have a great show talking about, well, the topic was the Lord of the Rings, the Ring of Power. That's what we're talking about because that's what we're really addressing with this day. We're talking about Patrick Byrne and the Amazon rainforest. Have you guys heard about this? We're going to be getting into that. So what's exciting is that when we're speaking about this new theme for Anarchapulco 2020, this is the event that's happening February 10th to the 20th in Acapulco, Mexico. Get your passports. It is the place to be. And we want to evolve beyond statism. I think consciousness is expanding to such a degree that people are starting to realize that politicians are not here to help. In fact, there was a funny joke that I modified. It says, politicians get special graves at the cemetery. You have to bury them 20 feet down because deep down, they're all very good people. And we're not advocating for, death of people, but the idea, and this is the quote from Larkin Rose, is that it doesn't matter who's on the throne. The problem is that there's a throne. And so we're going to get into that at Anarchapulco as we have been the last 5 years. We're going on 6 years. And it's really time that we evolve ourselves personally, and that will evolve the world as well. And so we're just opening up that conversation to communicate with you and to have a real discussion about how to solve these problems that we're facing all around the world and locally as well. And it's the idea, it's the thought process that we want to expand and evolve upon. So that's what we're going to be doing in about 5 months now, 5.5 months. So get your tickets and let's get into the topics today. So the Ring of Power. What is the Ring of Power? How many of you guys have seen the Lord of Rings movie? All right. So this is the ring, right? Like once you put it on, it has all dominance over the other 19 rings. You dominate all people. And, the storyline goes that Frodo got the ring and he was the only one qualified to go and take it to the volcano, to throw it in the fire, right? To destroy the power. That's what we're talking about, to destroy these beliefs that other people can rule us. Do you want to be ruled, right? How about the quote that says, instead of employing the state to rule us, to govern us, we just rule ourselves. We just govern ourselves. And that's what the word anarchy is that there is no rulers. So, of course, Frodo Baggins gets to he walks the catwalk by the fire, and he has the ring, and check it out. Look at the clip on YouTube. It's so cool. And he has the ring, and he's to the final point to destroy the power that is hurting everybody. And you know what? Even Frodo Baggins, the nice, humble guy from the Shire, you know what he did? He turns around, he looks at his buddy and says, "This ring is mine." And so that's the story of Lord of the Rings. And so the author J.R.R. Tolkien, this is all incredibly new and interesting information. His book is considered one of the greatest novels of the 20th century. Over 150 million people worldwide have read it. And so he even was talking about anarchy to his son. In 1943, he wrote a letter to him and says, "I lean towards anarchy." So these concepts, these ideas are actually in the ether, actually in the consciousness. And over 150 people have read the book. What about the movie itself? So also Lord Acton, he said, power tends to corrupt. And absolute power tends to corrupt absolutely. So thinking about these people that want to rule us, who are these people? Well, they sure look good on the outside. They sure deliver their speeches. But it's the system, the idea that somebody else can rule you and me. Isn't it just time we just get beyond that concept and start to help each other, collaborate, win-win relationships, take responsibility for our health? And this is why we got to get our kids out of the school system. This is why we got to engage, if we can, in what you call maybe the undermarket or the black market or the hidden market with cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, these different blockchain technologies and solutions, because this is how it's going to happen, in my opinion, right? Are we going to vote these guys out? Do you really think that these guys who have the Ring of Power, if Frodo Baggins from the Shire cannot take the ring and throw it in the fire, how about these other guys who come from, maybe wealthy families or aristocratic or whatever you want to say, when they get power, what do they want to do? They want to help their friends and family, right? You have this power that says, okay, even like good people, you know, like Ron Paul, who he's probably like the only politician who I would trust, right? And he ran for president, and you saw how he got bamboozled and basically had the election stolen from him. So he's one guy who I would trust with the ring of power, but still, I don't want to be ruled. So I don't want a president over me. I don't want a governor over me. How about you? Do you want these mayors and city council people with people telling you what to do? I mean, we're at a ridiculous place where you have to get permission to work on your own roof at your own house. You got to get, it's illegal to collect rainwater. It's illegal to help the homeless people, right? I mean, we're really at a time, you know, if you guys are watching this, you guys are the future leaders of humanity, the visionaries, the ones who are really trying to steer us in the right direction. And we can't do it without you, right? And this is why the event just keeps growing every year, because we're getting the word out, the consciousness, the ideas of self-ownership, personal responsibility, self-defense, and a few others, right? Those are fundamental natural rights, unalienable rights that you don't get from government. So learning how to be powerful in our actions, in our life, you know, this is what the event's going to be about, for health as well. So anyways, the ring of power corrupts us. So who seeks this power over us? Maybe people who actually think that the government's legitimate. So somebody who's a voluntarist, anarchist, whatever you say, a freedom lover, how can you be bound to a contract you didn't sign, really? Is that going to be the scenario where you're born and you have to be obligated to somebody? There was a funny meme the other day. They showed a baby in the womb and he was signing the social contract, right? That's other things that, oh, everybody's bound to a social contract. No, you're not. You just got to take responsibility for your actions. So if you aggress against other people or their person or their property, get prepared, because they're going to strike back. But if we're engaging in voluntary interactions, is there really a crime? So this is why the war on drugs is totally unethical as well, and harming and damaging people, right? The United States has 5% of the world's population, but over 27% of the world's prison population. Unbelievable. Okay, so let's destroy the ring of power. Help us do that, but getting ideas out there. The next subject is Patrick Byrne. You might have seen this on the news the last a few days for me, but he was an FBI whistleblower, and he came out and said there was political espionage over Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Rubio, Cruz during the campaign. Now, does that surprise you? It doesn't surprise me. Why? Because this is a criminal organization. And again, they're chasing that ring of power. I got to get that ring and get that money. And so we got to go get it. So they're going to be spying on each other using technologies. We already know with Edward Snowden, they can spy on us. So what did he do? He came out and said, I was helping the FBI. And, you know, he's called himself kind of a patriot that loves the country. And in the same token, what's interesting, Jeff Berwick interviewed him on Anarchapulco last year, I think it was. So take a look at that, because in people's mind, they are voluntarists. They do want freedom and respectful, consensual relationships. But then also, you know, if they get tapped by the FBI or somebody says, hey, and here's a story with Patrick Byrne. He helped the FBI find the murderer of his friend, Brian Williams, 17 years ago. And so, you know, of course, that makes you feel good. If somebody murders your friend and you help the organization find the murderer, that's going to feel good, right? And then they tapped him, I think, in 2010 for the Wall Street debacle. And he helped bring down some corrupt Wall Street individuals. And then they tapped him again, and I think he said 2015. And so he said, I thought I was doing good. He said he was in the room. They're talking about political espionage. And he said, I thought I was doing law enforcement. I'm sorry. So, you know, he did confess to that. And he actually got that advice. He called his rabbi, Warren Buffett, gave him the advice to come forward, just because, and you'll see in the interview, he gets very emotional. He feels guilty that there's mass shootings happening. And he feels like, you know, we have to bring the truth to the people. Well, this is what we're doing here in our organization and our team, you know, who's just doing great stuff. The truth is that you own yourself. You don't owe anything to anybody unless you voluntarily engage with them. So it's good to see truth come out. And he's also, Patrick Byrne's a practitioner and investor in blockchain technologies. And so his stock actually went up. He stepped down as CEO and his stock price went up. It's overstock.com because he's just talking about bringing truth and transparency to the marketplace. You know, this is the quote from Cardi B. She's asking about the taxes. She said, "Where the fuck is my money? Where the fuck is my money?" Right? You know, I see where my money's going for the public companies, but she's talking about the government. Transparency. Hey, if you're going to take our money, if you're going to take a third of our life, 33%, 4 months out of the year, 15 years of our life, show us what you're doing with the money. And it's just a gigantic corrupt system. And even good people, they get in there and they try to change it, but they get corrupted. You got to get support from your assembly members or Congress members, right? I'll vote for your bill, you vote for my bill. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. Well, how about just individual self-governance and personal responsibility? Are you down with that? I am, and so is all the community members here at Anarchapulco going forward and helping these ideas get out. This is so exciting. Okay, and the third part is the Amazon rainforest fires. And naturally, do you want clean air? Yes, we want clean air. Do you want, they call it the lungs of Earth. Do you want them to burn? No. But I saw the image from Alex Vidal there that the NASA observation from outer space, allegedly, shows that the amount of Amazon rainforest fires is about average. It's not some extreme, you know, everything's burning down, give us your money. And you know what I mean by that? There's a plan, as some of you know, to enslave humanity, and it's a global state, the United Nations. Remember, there was a League of Nations before that that failed, and now they do the United Nations. And you know how tricky these guys are? They want us to fund our own slavery. How are they going to do that? With the carbon tax. What's the carbon tax? The carbon tax is the money that they're going to trick you into paying because the world's coming to an end. The fires are destroying Earth. The oceans are rising. The Arctic, you know, ice caps are going away, and you know all these animals are becoming extinct and all these things. So fear, be afraid, give us your money. This is how the state operates. If it was a respectful organization, what would they do? They would find peaceful solutions. And instead of saying the greater good, they would focus on the individual, because the individual is the most discriminated against group of people there is. So rather than all this race and like politics, it's the individual. They're coming after you. They're coming after me, our families, our kids. We see that with forced vaccines as well. So the Amazon rainforest, yes, terrible to see them burning. But also the great solution that Jeff Berg mentioned, why don't you turn your lawn into a forest? If you're really concerned, plant some seeds, grow some trees in your own front yard, in your own backyard, and build your own natural forest, because there are solutions. But the state wants you to sit there, and of course the media, you know, is their buddy. So anytime you see this media story that's about the earth and how scary it is, think about it again. You know, use some critical thinking skills and ask who benefits from the situation. Because if the average forest fires in the last 15 years is happening right now, but now they're pumping all this fear about the forest fires or the rainforest being destroyed, what really is going on here? So this is why I'm so I have so much respect for you guys in the freedom community, anarchists, volunteers, however you identify. Maybe nothing, maybe just a sovereign being, infinite intelligence, infinite love, however you see yourself, because you guys think for yourselves. And I go every year. This is going to be my 6th year in a row, just having a great time around the pool, at the beach. It's literally 2 minutes. You walk out your hotel room, go down to the beach. A lot of cool stuff happening here. So let me see if you guys have some comments here, because cutting down trees. Yep. Yeah, free energy. Yeah, free energy, man. This is a big one, too. One of our past speakers was Foster Gamble, and he was talking about the free energy and these solutions. So this other part is that if you have these solutions, you got to get them out to the world, right? Don't hold on to them. And just like the open source solutions, you will be compensated. You will be rewarded. You know, whether it's like the Linux computer systems, blockchain in general, give it out to the world. Let us have the energy, and we're going to have a great, I think, next few years as we get these ideas out there, right? We're just a small team here of great champions for liberty and for peace, And so we're trying to enroll you guys in doing what you can in your locations. Come to the event if possible. This is going to be an epic event. We have some of the speakers to be announced, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a blowout event. There's still early bird tickets, so get those. And if you want to make some money with us and help get the word out, just talking with your friends, then you become affiliate, right? And you give them a discount, and you get a 10% commission as well. But regardless of what you do, tune in to freedom. Tune into the conversation, what's going on, and do save your money and come if you can. What's going to be an epic experience. And there's a crypto stage, a health stage, a family camp stage, and a lot of solutions being presented there, because the ring of power has got to go. We have to throw the ring of power into the volcano. We don't need rulers ruling over us. And this is the next evolution for humanity. We are evolving beyond the state. We're evolving ourselves, growing ourselves, helping each other, serving each other, and preparing for this mass tsunami of intergenerational, multi-generational freedom. Yes, Hannah, kids can come. And in fact, kids are free. Age under 18 tickets are free. So great to see you tuning in. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Victoria. Walter. Hey, guys. We'll be back here same time next week talking about freedom and new freedom topics. So thanks for your time. Thanks for your support and love. And that's what we're spreading. Peace, love, and anarchy worldwide. See you guys next week.